So today's going to be a good day. We're going to build that anvil stand that I keep talking about. We're going to turn all of these into something really nice to hold our anvil. So we're going to get started. I'm going to cut these down into 2-foot sections. I want them 24 inches. The anvil's 11 inches high, so that puts me right up there, high enough. It'll be right about waist level, which is where you really want it when you're pounding on some steel. So let's go ahead and let's get started with this. One down, more to go. Remember, kids, measure twice, cut once, and always wear your safety glasses. I myself am kind of a, if you squint, it's meant and safety third type of guy, but you get the point. Well, you all saw that one board, that one piece 4x4 that was cracked all the way down the end. Yeah, we ain't using that. There's some junkie somewhere looking at that crack getting all excited. we can't use that. So, altering the plan a little bit. Gonna change the design just a tad, but I think this will be alright. Check this out. Once I smooth off the tops, get everything set up the way I want, I think that'll be a hell of an anvil stand. Right now I think I'm going to take and put a ratchet strap around them and just kind of hold them together in place, and we'll see what happens. They're not entirely perfect, but it's not bad. There's a few that are We're going to cut some of these things off. Alright, well, let's, for shits and giggles, throw the anvil up on it. Everyone talks about how an anvil should ring, have a good ring to it. Pretty good rebound too. I think that'll do just perfect. That rebound's pretty nice. So I'm definitely going to get this cleaned up, get this anvil cleaned up, and this ought to be really nice for our shop. It'll definitely be a huge improvement over what we were using. If you remember my I-beam anvil. Like I said, we'll keep that. I'm going to keep that. But this is definitely a step in the right direction. But for now, let's take the anvil back off of it. And let's kind of smooth out some of the corners, some of the high spots. You can see the anvil rocks here, unfortunately. And I'll just have to try to figure out why that is. Shouldn't be anything major. Oh shit, right there, it doesn't even wobble. Oh shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just found its home. Right there. Now let's push it over this way, just a skosh. Oops. You see the whole thing wobbled. I think right there's home. It doesn't move. Okay, I can live with that. So, a couple things we got to do. I have some steel here, 1/2 inch by 1/8 inch by 72 inches. I don't think that's going to be long enough to go all the way around it. I'll have to do some quick math. Alright, after some technical difficulties, getting this camera running back up. Getting this steel banding put around here. As you can see, I've got it pretty well hammered around this side now. That gives us 3 sides. I got one more bend to do with the torches, and then we should be pretty good. Pretty simple. I'm just heating it up with the torch and then bending it and then hammering it flat so it stays as tight as possible. And it is doing pretty good. So let's continue on. Let's see how straight this is, how level this is. Now that I have sitting in that. Now where's our, right there's our bubble. So if I take a pencil and mark it where level is, I have a spot to aim for. Let's see here, right about there is where level is. And that's where we're going to try to line it up with once we start doing the bend. Just going to heat this up so it's nice orangish red. See my marks? And bend it right around. Now that we have that, we can turn the torch off. We'll grab our hammer. All right, and it lines right up on the other side. Almost like I planned it. There's another side securely fastened. Alright, so the Harbor Freight drill bits didn't work out so well. I moved on. Lowe's sells these spider bits. I think Spider's the company. I have a 16-inch bit here that they have. It has the spade on the end of it. Pretty cool. This one's 1/2 inch. I'm going to try this, see if this doesn't get us through it, but I'm going to take it in smaller bites, especially since this bit's only 16 inches long. I'm going to separate the anvil stand out, 1/2 and 1/2, and we'll see if we can't make something happen where I get the holes lined up real nice and even. So let's go check that out, shall we? Let's do this. Doing the other half, we'll have this down enough, we'll know what we're doing. By we, I mean you and me. And all 36 of my other personalities. Okay. I don't think it'll be enough. I just don't think it'll be enough. Let's trim it off and see what we get. Well, as you can see, we're just a little bit too short. Probably about an inch if I had to guess. We're just about an inch too short, which ironically, come around the side here with me, I could find that inch. Boom. There it is. All right, we got one more to put in here, but now we got to use an entire another piece of all thread. Do this one smart. Have the block turned sideways. Start that nut just to where it's flush on the end. Okay. We're gonna just, instead of leaving this all here and trying to run a nut down here tight and then cut it off, we're gonna cut it off and then do some magic with a grinding disc. Or I'm sorry, a cut-off wheel. Probably not OSHA approved, but it's definitely Baker approved. It'll be all right. You should never use a cutting wheel as a grinding wheel, and that's exactly what I just did. I'm hoping that by doing that, I just made it so that I could start this nut without any major issues, but it doesn't seem like that's going to work. So I split it lengthways, and I went this way through from end to end, but I did 3 at a time. I went as far as I could, and I marked that 4th one. Worked out really nice, because then I just followed that hole all the way across. I did that for all 3 of the end bolts. Now I'm just going through, lining up, and I'm going to lag it this way. I got 3 already in it, 3 going here. The Harbor Freight drill bits, the long ones, unfortunately they just don't have the gumption to get into this. Had really good luck with the Spider. This is a $10 auger bit, I guess, 1/2 inch, but it's a 16-inch shaft, and with that I was able to do 3 at a time, which going this way, that's why I had to separate in half, but going this way, being that we're only 3 wide, worked out really well. I just got through my last hole. I did those 3, and then I came over here. All those holes are done up. I'm gonna lag it together, get it done up. I'm probably gonna use the torch to brown this while it's up here on the table. And then the next step is gonna be to put the anvil up. But I'm just gonna probably put it down. I'm gonna have to forge some hold downs for the anvil. So that ought to be fun, because we're gonna break out the forge, and we're actually gonna heat, beat, and repeat a little bit on this new anvil to make the hold downs for the anvil. Now it's time for my favorite part of the job. Going to keep working that up a little bit. Don't want to sit still with the torch too long in one place. That one's really cool. I like that pattern coming out of that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That looks nice. I like that. I'm gonna go around and do this to all 4 sides and make it all pop. I think that turned out pretty cool. So my anvil's loose on the stand here. My goal is gonna be, I'm gonna make a hold down. Just using some of this, I'm gonna hammer end flat, punch a hole in it, put a couple bends in it, do the same thing, hammer the other end flat. That way I can run some lag bolts through this to hold the anvil to the stand. Just trying to widen this out a little bit. So I put a hole in it, put a lag bolt through. Kind of cold. You can see on the first pass what I have already going. Made it a little wider, a little skinnier. Base of the anvil, real nice. bending it just a little bit more. Okay, so we're starting to take shape. I think that's going to work real nice. I'll put it over the hardy hole, or the pitchable hole. I believe that's what that's called. And put a hole through it. And we'll bolt it down and see how it goes. See what happens. So I have one of the hold downs finished. All good and cleaned up, and it's bolted in. Check this out. So here I just have a regular 2-inch screw holding it down, and then it goes all the way around to this side. Same thing. Now I just gotta make 2 of them. See, I have the one bending already. So that's coming along just nicely. So we're gonna keep working on this. I should be done here in a few minutes. I have a blade in the temper oven. I have all kinds of projects going on. It's a good day here. So, all right. I'll keep you updated. Alright, so this project took forever, but you know what, it turned out really freaking sweet. So, I'm out here in the shop, just chilling, cleaning up after this project. I want to show you guys this, check this out. So it looks freaking phenomenal. And we can get in here, and you can kind of see, there we go, those brackets that I forged out on this side, how they go around the whole way. They're good and tight. I cleaned it up a little bit. There's some scratching on this, but you can just about make out Peter Wright on that anvil surface. But back to the main attraction here. Oops. That is a pretty sweet setup right there. Now that that's done, the way I have this shop set up, we're starting to take form. We'll have our anvil here down the middle, various other tools and equipment down the sides. Turn around out back here. There will be the forge. I'm using this just as a heat shield. But there's my propane forge. Running that up and over. Now obviously the forge isn't on. The car behind it probably shouldn't be there, and it isn't when I do light it up. Gotta organize a few things, but we're doing all right with it. I'm making the shop my own, and I'm settling in really nicely. So we have that over here. This will get wheeled out when it's time to use this coal iron forge. That'll be wheeled out over here, kind of next to the forge area. I'm not sure that I want to use it right there where it's hot, but it is on a rolly table. Disregard the boys no pedal balance bike. Over here I have this 2x72 inch belt grinder. This is my own creation. Right now there's a surfacing conditioning belt on there. Built this all myself. Actually got the motor from a yard sale, and it works great. It's a 110 motor, no variable speed or anything, one speed, that's it. But I've handmade everything about this entire grinder, and it works great. You can see up here I have all of my various belts, all right, going from 36 grit all the way to 1,000. And I actually have some 7,000 grit belts I bought on a whim, just because, but they're not up there yet. Moving down right now, just got some products sitting up here, some different things. Drift punch, that over there. I have a Milwaukee bandsaw, deep cut bandsaw. This is a oh yeah, now it slips my mind. Swag. I'm sorry, it's a swag stand that they make up specifically for this purpose. This is what I do all of my cutting with, for the most part. A lot of my metal cutting's done right on this. A lot of my wood cutting, everything. If I can do it on this, it's a great tool to have. I absolutely love this thing. If you've never heard of them, you're just starting out, the swag way's a way to go. Like I said, a portaband bandsaw, and then the swag table here, and it bolts in and everything. The only thing that I did a little different was this is a corded bandsaw. I ran the power cord down here to a foot pedal. That allows me to operate that when I need it. That way I don't have to worry about always on or always off. I picked that up at Harbor Freight. I don't remember what I paid for the foot pedal at Harbor Freight, but it works out really nice. Sorry for the mess on the table right now. Like I said, a lot of things going on. Just finishing up this anvil stand project, but this is my drill press. Really nice. Craftsman, good friend of mine, sold it to me. I originally started with a Central Machinery drill press from Harbor Freight. It was kind of small. I got the opportunity to buy this thing. I jumped on it. Nice Craftsman. I mean, it works great. It's done everything I needed to do. One toolbox, two toolbox, and 3 toolbox. My normal 9 to 5. I was a diagnostic tech for a long time, so a lot of tools, which really helps me out with this purpose, with this avenue, if you will, being a bladesmith. I have all kinds of tools that kind of cross over. And I have a few other tools. I'll do a full shop tour later when things are more organized. Right now it's a mess, so if you will, forgive me for that. But I'm pretty happy with everything. This anvil stand, I mean, who could be angry with that? That's a pretty nice setup. So there you go, guys. Nice Peterite anvil, beautiful stand. 8J Knives is really starting to pick up.